Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 3 Immortal Empires, where today we're going to have a showdown. We're going to have a showdown with this giant troll. He's very scary. I'm still concerned about this. I don't know how I feel about this whole plan, if I'm being honest. Alright, let's have our wizard join the army that he's supposed to be joining.
It's mine.
Magic is chaos, apparently, which is good for us, generally. We're pro chaos. Alright, you two pull up together. I mean, I assume this dude's gonna run in the face of our overwhelming force, but we run a lot faster than he probably does, right? So I think that's probably fine. Is there anything that's like really pressing that we want to build here? I don't think there is. Are we making any money at all off of 215 total from all of our vassal tribute everywhere? So yeah, buildings that improve the amount of resources your vassals are sending you, just total waste, it seems like. Is this as built up? No, the money-making building here could go up another level, so we should probably save for that. Oh, they still haven't actually taken control of Couronne yet, but they're going to. Alright, let's see how Throg responds to our approach. It might have been smarter to try to approach stealthily, see if we couldn't catch him unaware. But also, we're just really good runners. I feel like the people down here are mostly just going to kind of like mill around uselessly. Okay, I mean, it's not exactly fleeing, is it? He backed up a little. I do think he's probably out of our movement range. But we can try to go back to a, we can try to go back into an ambush stance here and see if we can sneak up on him. Okay, Middenland is down. Sounds like things are going really well for the Emperor. I think the Red Duke's going to take Couronne from us, which is fine.
Obviously.
So, yeah, he moved to a place where, like, he's exactly, like, the minimum amount out of range. Well, there's not really a good place to set an ambush in here. Hold on, let me move the other army first. Let's make sure we're maintaining ambush range for this army, because this army has a little bit less movement overall. They don't have as many movement distance buffs as Be'lakor does. Alright, the odds that this is going to work are pretty poor.
Not this time.
I wouldn't be able to make it around front if I went into march mode, would I? No. Yeah, let's try this. We'll try to... There is definitely a potential upside here. In fact, you know what? I'm going to reveal Interior on purpose. Let's not have him in ambush stance. If Throg actually lost sight of Be'lakor here, he'll almost certainly ride over to try to take down Intirio's inferior force, and we'll be able to jump him from the ambush. That would be pretty ideal. Do we really have... Yeah, Cursor's Boons available again already. Not that we would want to use it at the moment anyway. Can we successfully outsmart a troll? Even if he does see through this and he decides to just back off, if we can get into a more open area, I'm confident we have enough movement that we can just run Be'lakor around him. Also, if it came right down to it, I guess we could spawn another portal and just teleport around him. He did not, in fact, see through Be'lakor's ambush. All Alright, so Bellacor's reinforcement army doesn't have a timer on it. Yeah, to be perfectly honest with you, this is a really easy auto-resolve because we are absolutely going to win here, but I kind of want to see... Here, we're going to go in manually. This battle is being led by Intiro. Intiro is our main commander. So Intiro's the one who's going to get whatever trait we get off of defeating Throg. My hope here is that we can get Throg to flee the battlefield instead of dying on the battlefield, so that we can then chase him down and attack him with Be'lakor on our next turn, and that way we can get both of our lords, the trait, whatever it is. So we're gonna try to carefully. I don't know if Throg retreats. He might be unbreakable. I guess we'll have a look at his panel here in a second and see if he is vulnerable to fleeing. If not, and we end up killing him, you know, at least somebody got the trait. Yeah. Don't need to channel. So are we gonna... I guess our reinforcements are showing up right away. I mean, it does feel like we want to just group up, right? Okay, now that we're actually allowed to... I don't know why his units weren't visible until just now. Throg. Throg has 86 leadership. It does not look like he has unbreakable. No, okay, he can absolutely be caused to retreat. All we have to do is break his leadership. It's high, but coming very close to death works on basically everybody. That's what I call a durable strategy. Now, my guess would be that he probably has little to no ranged. As soon as the cannon's pointed the right way, we'll hit blood. Just run fast. For the moment, just run fast. Alright, let's get all of our stand relatively tough troops over here. Y'all are moving way too far up.
Yes, Lord. Get them.
Okay. Oh, right. That's not Be'lakor. This is Be'lakor. I forgot Jorhul also is a flying unit now. Here's him aboard his Manticore. You know what? You can stop doing that, actually. Just go ahead and form up here. Mostly what I want to do is commit a really big penumbral pendulum across the front line of their units. Actually, maybe not across the front line of their units. Maybe we want to try to hit some of these axe throwers. No, this is fine. So remember, we got a little bit of lead time because it takes a second to cast. Yeah, pretty solid start. Excellent shot. We should try the other one too. We haven't actually used Pit of Shades yet. It's really hard to see. Okay, yeah, it's really hard to see how big the attack area is on this thing. We'll do it right here where they can't easily dodge to the side to get out of it. Oh, that has a 5-second wind up. That's a little slower than... Oh, actually, never mind. It's cool. So we don't want to send Be'lakor after Throg directly. I think I want to be a little bit more cautious than that. Let's get all of these trolls and stompy troops pushed out to the side here. Marauders, I regret to inform you, you are about to have a very bad day of blocking berserkers with your face. One thing that will definitely be helpful as far as y'all stay in skirmish mode. So skirmish mode just has the troops try to stay at a safe distance from the enemy while attacking them. Just throw spears at the skin wolves. My hope is to break most of his troops before actually fighting him, so that it's easy to crash his morale by just surrounding him. We'll see if that works out in practice. I will have some marauders run over here as well. This area is pretty under control already. We probably don't need to commit troops to it. Jorhol should... I think Jorhol and Bellicor are at this point going to try to knock out the enemy ranged as quickly as possible. I want to try not to go directly next to the marauders with the great weapons because they have a lot of armor piercing damage and stuff. Okay.
Call me Dark Master.
Alright, yep, some good breakage.
What?
Let's try not to let them have ranged units.
Yes.
Alright, don't chase the skin wolves, you're not going to catch them.
Chaos Sorcerer.
We do have another wizard over here who I suppose should be put into combat. But honestly, the odds that we're going to be spending any of our magic resources from his spellcasting is pretty low, because we got Bellicor. Why would we do that? These poor fools are in for such a bad day. So we'll just get some demons with great big swords. Fold it in back here. Get 'em! Sort of. Kind of get 'em. Okay. So we've broken most of their ranged over here without really even having to put too much thought into it. We are going to have to still wrap some troops around. These pink horrors are a little close to the front of the battlefield for my taste. Oh, right. This is our actual Chaos Lord. Oh, Throg's already breaking and retreating despite... You know, I guess the pink horrors have all been shooting at him, haven't they? There's nothing else around. Alright, we're basically going to accept the enemy's retreat as soon as they give up, and also I'm going to pull... He went white flag up. I'm going to pull all of the troops that are anywhere near him away from him. I want him to have a clean getaway. And let's try to finish the job here.
Putrefaction on them.
I am actually shocked at how easy it was to break him. Alright, so yeah, just throw a lot of javelins kind of into the melee. You know, for the most part, our troops have armor and their troops don't, so we don't even have to be that stressed about friendly fire. Okay, that's a pretty clean version of that thing. Is there anybody that we want to make 100% sure we crush before we let the battle end? Like, it would be pretty great if we could actually kill off these units of berserkers. Where's Bellicor? Yeah, kill their berserkers. I don't want to have to deal with that nonsense. Horses, finish off the skin wolves. Anything that we kill now, we're not going to have to fight in the next battle, so...
Quickly.
We're probably not quite going to be able to finish off any of these hunters, would be my guess. I think they're a little fast.
this! For the Dark Prince!
What, did you just forget your orders? Okay, Skinwolf actually did die.
Ah!
Fast-moving ranged units, like missile cavalry, are generally like a lot better at this task than a lot of other units. Things that are really fast in general, obviously.
Yes, Lord! If they close, kill them!
You do not need to skirmish, just murder. Boy, you're just volleying the wrong troops entirely. Please actually just do the thing. Look at this. There's so few of them. I can't imagine they stand up to an attack very well. All right.
Shot them!
There we go. As soon as you start throwing, the enemy starts dying.
Quick! Get them!
Yeah, the AI's default behavior of sit at exactly maximum range while attacking is pretty bad play, in my opinion. You just gotta manually override that. Okay, this is a unit of Marauder Spearmen that I do not care about. Okay, I think most of their stuff has gotten away.
They will succumb!
Yeah, I think we picked up all the ones we're gonna pick up meaningfully. Well, it should be nice and easy from here. We didn't even really lose that many of the Marauders. And I didn't do this on purpose, but it is cool that the units we actually hunted down and wiped out were the highest XP ones. I guess the unit of Skinwolves did escape. I mean, they're fast. I didn't think they were that much faster than horses, though. I'm actually really curious to see what this trait we're going to get for defeating Throg is. I'm really, really hoping it is some good direct melee single combat relevant stuff. If beating the troll teaches our lords to explosively vomit, you know, that's something. It would be interesting, at least. I do wish that some of them were a little bit more colorful. There's a bunch that are just like +3 melee attack for your army, or +10% charge bonus. Yeah, we'll definitely take the money on this one. Oh, interesting. While we were over here killing their king, they were doing stuff. Fair enough. Alright, the Red Duke has backstabbed us and has made a proper enemy. I kind of wish that the win the game objectives were a little bit more reactive. Like something like this should put Musalon on our overall objectives list, but I don't know how you would manage that exactly. +3% weapon strength, +15 bonus versus large. Actually pretty significant, I think. Alright, lots of people unlocking lots of stuff. Everybody's leveling up and getting mounts. We finished our Enchanted Idols research.
Belacor.
I would love for Belacor to have that trait.
Time to die. Let them go.
Okay, cool. Troll hunters indeed.
The Dark Master.
Also, we got an ancillary there who didn't automatically equip. Why? Has to be following an exalted hero or a chaos sorcerer. Okay, cool. We have one of those. That can happen. So what are we grabbing here? We got Messenger of the Great Undivided. So what is next? We could go back and pick up more spells. Yeah, our spell line's not actually maxed out yet. Let's cap everything.
I gain the first demon prince.
Sorry, two skill points. That's fair. We did kill Throg twice. So at this point, Infernal Champion is just 10% bonus weapon strength, which is 40 extra damage on your attack. Yeah, that seems fine. Aura of Chaos is also actually probably pretty good. I don't necessarily prize missile resistance on characters, small characters very much, but once a character moves up to large size, by like acquiring a mount or something, they become much easier to just direct a ton of missile fire into. So that's valuable. And worth noting, immortality granted automatically at rank 20, so we're very close.
My prayers are answered.
Very close to our exalted hero here being with us forever. And you can take on the student. And that way we never lose the student either. Okay. So the Forbidden Citadel does have a real garrison.
Stand at our walls.
We would just beat them in straight... Okay, I'll just take the beat them in straight combat then. Seems like the obvious... Wow, they had a lot of money. Why did we get 7,800 favor for... This is a bunch of naked guys. I guess there's some pretty sick Norscan warhounds over here. Yeah, where did they even have all of this favor? I mean, whatever, it's fine. Very strange, though. The AI is not good at picking its fights, it would seem. Just not expecting me to ride out and do the thing.
The gods were wrong to spurn me.
So we don't necessarily need to sprint over there then. We could do other stuff, maybe. Alright, so an ability to buff up the leadership of our units in case we get into some dark times and they need a little bit of a reinforcement. What is this stuff? So combat stats, I mean, at 4240, you're not an amazing fighter, but you could stand up to a unit of like normal infantry, probably. Non-elite infantry. Spellslinger is 15% cooldown reduction, and this is just get tough. I don't think any of that stuff is so critical that it overrides continuing to spend skill points in the magic line and trying to get to Arcane Conduit, which is like super valuable. So, what other good spells do we have? We can, of course, rust out enemy armor. We can give a hell of a lot of armor to our own troops. We can summon a bunch of molten gold hounds to leap at people, which is funny. I don't know how effective it is. The problem is it's a randomly moving area of effect, so you can cast it in a powerful position and then it can just decide to do something else if it wants. Plague of Rust, though. I do like Plague of Rust. Just make an enemy vulnerable and then focus everything on them.
Spread ruin on them.
Okay, so I think what we're going to do here is... Where is the border? Okay, we're going to move right up to the Doomkeep border.
Move.
Stay on this side so we have the healing, but Intiro's going to start scouring the north coast.
This victory is mine. The crown of domination is mine.
And you know what? I guess we should stay
This is right.
in our own territory here. We can end the turn right next to Naglfari Plain, take the last little bit of replenishment that we need. We're working on this. We just need Sacrificial Prophecy or Mystical Banner. Our Siege Authority going up does make it more sensible to potentially award some Marks of Siege to people. To actually flip troops over. I know we're not going to do it with our Chaos Warriors, but... Okay, so... Oh, we should definitely take, yeah, core building upgrades. High value. Do we have the population? No. We do not yet have the population to push the final Exalted Dark Fortress upgrade. Nor will we for some time, probably. So this is another 10% favor from all buildings in the region. And that's it? That's all that it does? What? All right, it increases income. I mean, I think it would be foolish not to take it. Very weird, though.
The Dark Master.
So I think we're going to just hand all this stuff back to our vassals. Yeah, we're going to wipe out Wintertooth entirely, I think, or at least we're going to put some serious effort into it. And then we'll get back to whatever else we were doing. Or if they want to accept vassalization, I'll do that. I'll go that way too. The important thing is everybody up here needs to be kicking up some portion of their non-existent wealth to me. It really is tremendously difficult for most factions to make money off of Norscan territory. That's why they're always going south and raiding everything. I'm surprised at how much money, quote unquote money, we're able to make as this faction up in the north, but I guess they've sort of properly reflavored favor so it's not just money with a weird name anymore. That was a little bit of a problem that Total War Warhammer 1 had. A couple of the factions had stuff that's not supposed to be money, like favor, or the vampires had dark magic, but it was very obviously just gold with a new icon. Here, they are making it like it is produced by different things than produce money in some cases, and they're differentiating it a little bit more in ways that are more thematically pleasing. All right, Gulbranson can come up here and help us out with this. Yeah, and hopefully we'll just push through them real fast. Laura Lorne, this is the Wood Elf faction that wiped out Marienburg, isn't it? Does Gorsel... Oh, Gorsel's just been burned to the ground, actually. And there's a lot of chaos corruption up here. I wonder if it's Beastmen. I wonder if the Beastmen are doing really well. That would be cool.
Are you a god?
Okay, 8-unit garrison should be a pretty easy catch here. Kill him, pass him over to the vassals. Well, we're going to be rich for a while. Oh, except, right, the Varg aren't properly vassalized because we brought them back into existing with the territory gift that was supposed to vassalize them. So I'm actually not sure. We'll take a look at them in a second here. So once you're through the middle part of the red line, the things in the last box all only affect troops that are level 7 or above. However, you can see they're single point skills that give a ton of points. We're going to go ahead and pick this up, even though it doesn't affect anything in our army yet, because I want to grab Stand or Die, which replaces Rally with a thing that actually gives a ton of melee defense.
I am pleased.
Yeah, right now the highest level troops in our army are level 2.
Good.
So I think at this point you can just kind of turn west.
Horrifying act. Immediately.
It is nice that passing stuff over to our vassals is just a sack action, so we still have movement afterward.
Take, then burn. God Maker. Follow Ogre's winds.
Yeah, we can we can make this process work really quickly. Wulfric the Slasher.
Gods were wrong to spurn me.
Okay, I mean, he's got some real troops. Some Norscan Warhounds are kind of crummy. Marauder Champions are good, though. He's got a Shaman Sorcerer of Death. So, can I talk to the Varg real quick? I would like to have words with the Varg. No, they do not appear as a real faction. That's weird. Like, they clearly are a real faction. They have feelings about me. Quite positive feelings, in fact. I wonder if it's something about them being eliminated from the game and then brought back. It's just causing them to behave kind of strangely. Well, whatever. I guess it's not a big deal. hopefully we can push through the rest of this Norsca stuff pretty quickly and then get back to actual objectives. But keep in mind, in addition to our objective factions, we do have to sack or raise or conquer or whatever, you know, a certain number of total settlements. So we are burning through some of that number. Although, wait, is sack on the list? Are we getting credit for these? We're gonna have to look at our objectives panel in a second here.
You are either brave or a fool.
All right, Throg coming back to us looking for peace. Here's the thing: vassalization is the lowest possible. It's all right; they'll learn. Now, our garrison is damaged from battle with the other Wintertooth armies, and garrisons don't... They heal up automatically, but they don't heal up instantly. So I am a little concerned that they might not be in a situation to withstand this attack. Yeah, we're pretty fucked up, actually.
The first.
That's all right. I don't think it's going to matter.
Your death will be inconsequential.
Okay, this one I'm just raising because the faction that I would be picking up is not... The faction I would be giving it back to is not my vassal.
Harbinger, obviously.
We were finishing spell stuff. Okay, now we have all our spell points.
Skill acquired.
Yeah, let's look at our objectives panel. What does the victory condition say? Okay, sack. So yeah, what we're doing up here does totally count toward our number. Okay, Monolith's got a relatively small garrison. Why am I not healing? Sure, foreign territory, but oh, right, the Varg aren't... Right. The Varg are technically not vassals. Okay, taking this settlement should vassalize them, though. We might have to sit outside and siege it for a little while, because we are actually pretty injured. I can hope that the Nagelfarlings will take this or something. Yeah, in order to get the Sarl, we'd have to take the Tower of Crack away from the Slaanesh faction, who we're actually pretty cool with. So I guess we just won't. And while we're all doing this, there's a bunch of dark elves festering in the ice fields up here. I'm getting the feeling that fighting the Empire might turn out to be a serious problem for us. I wonder if we can... We should maybe have a look. Since we got all this favor and we don't really have an immediate use for it, we should take a look at perhaps giving gifts to that goblin tribe down south that really likes us, seeing if we can get to a point of actually being allied so that we can do troop exchanges. Because some of the things in that orcish roster would actually be really nice for us to have. There's a volatile vortex. The great warding teeters on its axis and weakens for a moment. Before it recovers, the winds of magic burst forth in a tumultuous gyre around your army, greatly boosting their power reserve, but increasing the likelihood of miscasts. Plus 50%. Alright, well, Intiro's not going to have any, like, hugely critical battles anytime soon anyway, so... Okay, this gets me across the friendly territory line at least. Lets me start healing again. We could definitely take Wolfrake with this army. Oh, well, you know what? That's cool. Just beat them. Apparently, everybody, including myself, is really underestimating the old Forbidden Citadel's garrison here. 2 Chaos Warriors, well, 4 Chaos Warriors and 2 Trolls. Yeah, that is quite an upgrade, actually. It's expensive, but I think it's worth it.
God Maker. Ready. This is why.
All right, let's see if we can take the monolith. We're pretty injured. So, says we'll get it, but we'll lose all of our marauders. But this will vassalize the Varg and make this friendly territory. I think it's actually worth it. Because you can just hire more marauders is the thing. Yeah. Occupy and vassalize. Okay, so now the Varg are properly on side. So what's going on up here? The Folly of Malefics. I'm not familiar with the tribe of Throg. They must be Warhammer III Norscans. The Warhammer III Norscans I really don't know that well. We didn't get over here all that much during our Warhammer 3 campaigns. Alright, pick up evasion so we can move into the real fancy stuff.
Now is chaos.
Interestingly, the dock does not provide any money for this faction. That's pretty weird. Usually the dock is value. Obsidian is inaccessible to the winds of magic, making it an invaluable weapon against sorcery, which means the only thing we're going to use it for is to tip our throwing spears. Alright. Well, so much for having a bunch of spare cash. Setting up one of these dark fortresses turns out to be extremely expensive. We're up to a reasonable amount of income again, though. So, warband pulls. Let's grab all that stuff. There we go. That's an army again. Do I feel like we need to set up another? I might put a portal over here, actually. Is this the yeah, the Decadent Host. That's totally them. Okay. Well, we worked our way around to the mission after all. Alright, I'm feeling pretty good about our position over here. So the Altar of Spawns is proper Norsca, but to the east of that, it looks like it looks like the territory doesn't ancestrally belong to any Norscan group. It's just stuff out in the snow that we probably will burn down. There's still some Wintertooth territory down here, and this is all stuff that I would be comfortable with them holding on to if we can get them to agree to vassalization. Okay, so that's the Archaon, the Wanderer Chaos faction. If we can get Wintertooth to vassalize, another thing that's really in favor of this is then we would have Throg still alive and working for us. And I think Throg is likely to be quite effective against other AIs. So actually, maybe we should send the Vanaheimlings after Wintertooth's southern territories instead of having them run south and get killed by the Empire, which is what they seem to be after right now. Oh, no, he's going to Pack Ice Bay. Okay, we don't have to... This army's trying to go south to get killed. I guess, man. You do whatever you want. Alright, I was present during building construction a whole lot of times. Jorhal has become immortal. He shall live forever in song and story, and generally, you know, pretty negative songs and stories.
The slaughter begins. The Dark Master walks.
Alright, so we get over here, stay just on our side of the line. Yeah, they're not going to have time to fix this. How many... 10 settlements they still have? Criminy.
All the world is meat for my grinder. You first.
Negative 154. Alright. It seems like extermination may be our only option. So the Gate of Tzeentch is available for all of our champion units, right? It doesn't... all of our aspiring champions. They don't have to be committed individually to Tzeentch. What other units can we get of Tzeentch flavors of even? Spawn, Forsaken, Chaos Warriors, and then Chaos Knights. Having our Chaos Knights pledged to Tzeentch so that they can become Doom Knights, which ride like flying discs and stuff, actually seems like a really good idea. Obviously, I'm talking about once we have some Chaos Knights, which is a thing we probably ought to get working on. We should build a recruitment building for that. Okay, well, this is trivial. We'll just pass that over to the Varg. Yeah, it's really tough to hold on to territory in Norsca, because you can't build proper walls and the garrison buildings are all garbage. So if somebody shows up with an even, like, halfway relevant army, you just lose stuff until your own army shows up and pushes back. It's tough. It can be tough. Alright, so we're definitely going to make Intiro a Skull Crusher. Perhaps a Rampant Destroyer. Plus 10% physical resistance for all Chaos Warriors, Chaos Knights, and Chosen. Yo, that's very good.
The gods smile.
These units are already plenty tough. They hardly need it. Alright, so the higher level Lore of Metal spells. Transmutation of Lead just like completely dumps the offensive capability of a large group of enemy units. This is probably what we're going to be focusing on first. Final Transmutation is an attempt to just transmute your enemies into gold. I don't think it's less important.
The gods.
It's very expensive, and in my experience, it doesn't do gold that is, or it doesn't do damage that is commensurate with the expense necessarily.
Yes, it is so.
Alright, we're gonna fall back to the monolith here. Definitely going to pursue some upgrades. Okay, Doomkeep can also do that with a little bit more money.
Harbinger. You may think that.
I guess we can stand here with our troops not in tired mode. Okay, in 10 turns we will have the population necessary to cap this out. 18,000 gold. We'll keep working on construction costs for our buildings for the moment because it turns out building up these chaos fortresses, it's a little bit of a nightmare. Also, it seems like the chaos commandments just kind of suck. There's not really a good one that we could be doing instead. So I can't tell if these factions up here are at war. It looks like there's something happening up to our north, but it's hard to read anything into the military positions. We could try to push our friendship with the Broken Axe, this goblin tribe down here, once we've got the Wintertooth thing settled, by just sending one of our armies back there and attacking whoever they are not friends with. Throg has regenerated and is immediately in flight mode, just desperate to be away from me. Hurts my feelings, just a tiny bit. That guy's name was Squidbert, which is, you know, unusual in this time and place. I will say that there is a little bit of a downside to the thoughts and intents of the AI armies being visible, which is that it makes you realize how much time they spend just moving back and forth and changing their mind over and over. Yeah, I mean, Vassal gains a province development point. Sure. Let's see what that does. I still don't think we've seen any actual effect from that kind of stuff at all. Oh, I was going to drop a portal. I probably don't need to. It's fine. Alright, let's have you run back to here. We have the money to upgrade the financial structure at the Doomkeep, and so I think we should.
Call me. I hunger for souls.
Okay, some Armor of Fortune. We could probably pass that along to the other army. And we still have the movement necessary to make it to Winterpire. That rules.
I shall scar you.
So burn it and... Oh, the Varg will take it.
Find what I need. Scour the rest.
Interesting. Oh, you know what? Their symbol probably was next to it, and we were just looking at it with it obscured by the mountain.
This victory is mine. The crown of domination is mine.
I guess, yeah, the construction cost thing is not super relevant here. We've kind of caught up to our building. I guess make enemies worse at moving around in here. And also melee defense up for all the armies in the province. It's something, technically. Okay, so we finished all of our spell lines. Oh, no, we didn't. I don't have all the points in Miasma. There's also a couple of things up here I should probably grab, like, yeah, this thing that just terrifies an enemy and dumps their melee attack in the garbage.
Abilities.
It's actually really good for us that we were able to take this over instead of having to just burn it down. So we're at 2,500. Does the monolith have... No, the monolith does not have an open building space. And it's going to be quite a long time before it does. I kind of want to build a Chaos Knight structure, obviously. I don't know exactly what level they'll have to be, but I'm sure we will have to level up our Chaos Knights before we can potentially throw them at the throw them into the upgrade thing. Okay, Crooked Track, Lair of the Troll King. Turns out there is a bunch of stuff down here still. So is this... Okay, this is their homeland. Well, I guess this is our next territory then. Also, it's got gemstones, which somehow will not make us any money and will only very minorly improve the effectiveness of like one military unit that we don't want to use. I shouldn't talk too much shit about the Marauder Horse Riders. They just throw like crappy little like javelins. You never really get a version that's good against armor, but they're still a fast-moving ranged unit that has a fair number of bodies in the unit, so you get a decent density of fire. They will remain good against armies that use any amount of unarmored or poorly armored troops as part of their core design. Just real bad against, dwarves or whatever. Alright, so the Chaos Warriors are at war with the Dark Elves. Seems reasonable to me. Nobody likes the Dark Elves, not even the Dark Elves themselves. So I think we're going to have our second army just portal over to the east and join in the crusade, because it turns out there's still a lot of territory left to spread out over. And I don't want Throg to be able to, play keep away from me around the mountains.
I don't like snow either.
Alright, for the moment we are disregarding Throg. The thing we care about is Krakodrak. Alright, you've healed up, and I'm not yet, I think, interested in having you... Actually, it is kind of a pain in the ass to get up here. Okay. I've changed my mind yet again. Another one of my trademark changes of heart. Alright. I think it's worth putting a portal down up here. Where did it... What? That's not even the same region. Opens a rift in the province the target army is positioned in. Okay, so it's probably always going to appear near the province capital, and that's just not been a problem for us before because we were always trying to build it near the province capital because that's where our city is in every province. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, we are extending east enough here to start running into the other Chaos factions. We should probably try to make friends. We might be able to swing a confederation if things get really dire for them. It'd be good to leave ourselves open to the opportunity at least. So with other forces of your same faction type, your same sort of general race and unit template, you can potentially confederate them, which means just all of their stuff becomes yours. They get completely folded into your faction. And it is cool to confederate people who have legendary lords, I think Archaon is a doofus, and he's silly rather than badass, but I would still welcome him. Our faction needs more military leaders. This is a worse offer than before. Okay, and Vassalhood is still extremely off the table. We might be able to vassalize them by force when taking their final settlement. So we saw not that long ago that they had 10 settlements, but that's probably only like a couple of smallish clusters, right? We're going to get this Krakodrak stuff. They're going to lose Pack Ice Bay and the Altar of the Crimson Harvest. Well, the Altar of the Crimson Harvest should really go to me. The Pirate Fleets of Sartosa. There's no image for this. It's a beta. Oh no, my sea trade routes. Whatever shall I do? Okay, let's definitely go help ourselves to a fortress. This has actual walls and a real garrison, so we might want to fight it out. You know what? They'll give us a close victory.
There is no escape from the dark master.
Honestly, that close victory is not even that. That wasn't that much damage. We're definitely taking this over. Interesting that it didn't... Oh, sorry, it's just part of their homeland. It's not their ancestral capital. Do we see their ancestral capital? Is it this one? Nope, just part of the homeland. Well, whatever. Doesn't, I think, doesn't matter very much.
The first damned.
So yeah, let's grab this big... Actually, I'm going to take Hearts of Iron first. Hearts of Iron, I think, is broadly very good. When your units don't get tired, they just have more stat points, effectively, than the enemy's units. Okay, it's just more magic. We use the gems for magic. That doesn't necessarily make a ton of sense to me, but whatever, it's fine. Definitely build that garrison structure, and probably nothing else. We probably just hold. So I think I'm changing my mind a little bit here. Do we want to get this Dark Fortress? It would mean that I have to be paying attention to what's going on with the Southerners, but now that we have a second army and we're like rapidly moving toward an amount of gold that would not make it unreasonable to have a third army, maybe we could just have a third army stationed so we could teleport down here and come take that. Maybe. I really don't want to be exposed to whatever bullshit they're doing, but yeah, I think I do want the Doom Keep, or the Dark Fortress, rather. Okay, you're still 7 turns off of having enough population to do the important thing. Bellicor is getting more leadership for his army when doing sieges, because he's good at sieges. We have proven this. Alright, I'm not really doing a lot of diplomacy or anything. Mostly I'm just focusing on getting this Wintertooth thing fixed as quickly as possible. We can maybe spend some time diplomatizing at the beginning of the next episode. Really just trying to strengthen our position on the world stage. For the moment, I'm feeling much more powerful than the people who can get to me, and much too far away from the people who are really powerful for them to get to me. So, acting with impunity, basically. At some point, that dream is going to crash and burn. I don't know, if we just have that one Dark Fortress along the southern coast, and we make sure it has the maximum garrison building, maybe it won't be too bad. Then we're going to have to, at some point, start paying attention to Elf Island. We haven't heard any noise about the Sword of Cain in a while. Which probably means that one of the elf factions is doing a pretty good job of conquering the whole island. Because if the sword was changing hands, we'd be seeing messages about it. Okay, Slaanesh is ascendant in the Great Game, which means remarkably little to us.
Lord of Torment. The first. Harbinger.
Okay, do we just hand this back to its owners? Probably. I don't think I actually want to manage this.
Your death will be inconsequential.
Oh, I do not have that option. Well then, sack it, so that we have lots of money.
The 4 token.
And I guess we could occupy it and just make it one of those little minor settlements, and it'll get knocked over at some point. No, I don't really want to. We'll just hang out right here nearby, and then we'll properly burn it.
Do not stop into darkness.
Okay, I was going to say, we should be getting healed, but I guess we were just barely on the other side of the, just barely on the other side of the province line.
I'll move when I choose.
Okay, just an 11-unit garrison with no walls, just sitting out here in the open. Yeah, the fact that I'm allowed to build proper walled structures in Norsca definitely feels a little bit like cheating, I guess. Okay, let's have a quick chat with the people who we might care to befriend. Like the Warhost of the Apocalypse.
Putrid cretin. Don't mistake this parley for anything else.
I can't make enough money to get that. What about this?
What
The
do
trade agreement seems like it's on the table.
Don't mistake this parley
Ooh, wow. Okay, well,
for me.
once we have the trade agreement with them, it'll start creating positive reputation because we have a treaty, and that'll make it easier to get the non-aggression pact. But yeah, that was probably just about all of my money. Yeah. All right, I do want to have a quick check-in with the Broken Axe as well, though.
Always
Okay, a defensive alliance is not that far off. This could totally happen. I wish I could gift them my vassal's land. Yeah, we're not allowed to trade them settlements. We could come down here and do it that way. If we came down, did a little bit of fighting, took some stuff that's near their stuff, and then handed it over to them, I'm sure they would accept the alliance offer then. And then we could maybe get some troop exchanges going. I'm a big fan of the mixed rosters in this game. The fact that everybody can access everybody else's units with a little bit of diplomacy, but in a very limited way, I think is extremely cool, and I would like to take advantage.
Some call me the Dark Master.
All right, Throughout the Unclean. We have a lot of common enemies, so yeah, I can see why you might be into this. At the very least, pay me. Sure. Making friends with the Skaven would also not be a bad idea. The Skaven definitely have some units that we could make good use of. Like, say, the Rattling Gun. Alright, a lot of AI nerds just sort of milling about. Factions that do not have the clear upper hand seem to get locked into this dance where they just don't quite know what to do with themselves. And they wait until somebody comes along with the force to resolve the issue. Really, Morslip's Howlers are sending troops all the way up here. They really do not want to survive. Okay, champions gather at your dark fortress, ready to prove themselves worthy. Well, the units that we need XP on the most, I guess I was going to say we have not yet recruited most of the things we need experience on the most, but just leveling up stuff in our second army is probably a worthwhile goal, considering we have access to the end of the red line. And the wild hunt begins. Orion, king in the woods and master of the wild hunt, is reborn anew. On the eve of the vernal equinox, the elite wild riders select a candidate to bear the mantle of the immortal elven king for the year ahead. Now that Queen Ariel has done her secret work, Orion storms back into the world once more. As ever, he immediately calls a wild hunt to clear the forest of undesirable outsiders. The herald of the hunt sounds the horn, signaling the elves and forest spirits to fight in Athaloran's defense, a primal urge to expel the forest's enemies that none can ignore. This does not matter to us. However, it does matter to some people who are kind of relevant to us. So the magic forest this is talking about is this area right here. So this is going to put some pressure on the Broken Axe and also potentially other people in the area. I'll be very curious to see how that plays out.
Me, master.
Okay. We're not going to keep playing. It's very easy to get stuck in this. We are going to knock this over, though, so that I don't forget to do it.
Shadows coil upon me.
Okay, a seasoned campaigner. We've fought so many battles, so far away from the capital. 10% more bonus movement range, and Be'lakor no longer gets tired at all, which is pretty fun. Okay.
The first deed.
Interesting. So whenever you burn a settlement down, we've talked about this before, the game backs you off a ton, except in a case where that would mean a good thing for you, in which case it just doesn't, I guess. Interesting.
I gain.
Alright, so we did max out HP, we did max out weapon strength. We are at 60 melee attack. I mean, we probably should go ahead and max out Deadly Blade.
My prayers are answered.
I know I was talking about it like it wasn't my first priority before when we had skill points going through that box, but
The crown of domination is mine.
definitely worth pursuing. So yeah, we have lots of build options over here. We can't see exactly how all their stuff is shaped. We know they only have 5 settlements left. So that's 1, 2, 3. Did you take this yet? No. Okay, so 2, 3, 4. Yeah. All right. They're almost eliminated from the game. We're getting pretty close. Any chance they're... Nope. They are not responsible to vassalization, or responsive to vassalization just yet. Well, they'll learn, or they won't. Frankly, either way is fine with me at this point. That's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, we are absolutely finishing this deal with the troll part of our quest. And from there, heading on to who knows what. There's an awful lot of people in this world that still gotta die. And we'll see you then.